Thursday night, blackout under the lights of Ross-Ade Stadium. Penn State comes in the opener against Purdue. Boilermakers, Nittany Lions, let's break her down. Before we get into the preview of the Boilermakers and the Nittany Lions, make sure you hit subscribe, ring the bell to stay notified. If you are a fan of the B1G, this right here is the place to be. All right, Boilermakers, Nittany Lions. Been looking forward to this one ever since it was released, ever since we knew that this would be a week one game. Big time home atmosphere for Purdue. That's the first thing I really want to focus on. Okay, this might be the biggest game at Ross-Ade Stadium in the last 20 years. Okay, I think that's a big deal. Going into this game, the crowd is going to play a big time factor. Okay, other times, top five opponent. I know Penn State's not in the top five. Look, I know they start pretty low, especially after last season. But anytime a really good team comes into a big-time atmosphere at Purdue, under Jeff Brom, it's either tough to get the win or you don't get the win. Penn State is going to have to deal with the crowd. That's the first thing we got to talk about. If this game gets into the second quarter, third quarter, and it settles down a little bit, that favors Penn State. You put these guys 11 on 11 at a neutral practice field in Los Angeles, Penn State wins 9 times out of 10. That's not how we play football in the Big Ten. We play it at packed stadiums. We play it in big-time atmospheres. Ross-Ade Stadium, the Ross-Ade Brigade is going to bring it, and that's going to be a factor. Purdue, get after the quarterback early. Okay? If you can get in there, rattle Sean Clifford, get some momentum, get a 3-and-out right away, get the ball, go down, score, that's a big deal. If Purdue can score first, keep the crowd into it. Keep the crowd into it. Man, if they create a turnover in that first quarter, this crowd might lose their freaking minds. Okay? And that's Penn State's got to protect the football. Like, the football is the number one priority. If you turn the football over early in this game, give this Purdue offense a short field with this home crowd, it might not go well for Penn State. Okay, let's kind of break down a little bit more. I love the matchup between Purdue's passing offense and Penn State's defense, the passing defense specifically. I'm loving the matchups. Jair Brown, Joey Porter Jr. going against this receiving core that's been patched together. No doubt about it. A lot of good guys, not a lot of great guys. Loving that matchup. Joey Porter Jr., a bigger corner, maybe going against some smaller receivers. Not a bunch of big receivers at Purdue, so I could see him jamming things up at the line of scrimmage. That would not surprise me. Purdue, you got to get after the quarterback. You got to rattle Sean Clifford. I know he's an experienced guy, but you get in there and you hit him and you rattle him, I'm not sure he's going to be able to stand in there and deliver as this game goes on. Clifford's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. So they got to get in there. They got to pressure. Can Penn State have a balanced offense? That's another big question. Is there enough in the running game? Okay, you got a couple of freshmen back there that are superstars that could be good, but this is game number one. Numero uno. Is Kevon Lee good enough? Is this offensive line? I see Purdue's defensive line maybe having a little bit of an edge over Penn State's offensive line. Kydran Jenkins, Lawrence Johnson, all those guys on the defensive line for Purdue, I think could have a good day. Rush the passer, get into the face of Sean Clifford, and then do what you do on the offensive side of the football. That's got to be the game plan for Purdue. Keep the crowd into it. For Penn State on the other side, keep the crowd out of it. Dial it down. Run the football. Running the football can lull a crowd to sleep. Yes, it's boring, but they got to have it. And we know Penn State after last year, they've got to have a balanced attack. If they're not balanced on the offensive side of the ball, this could be tough. If they can't run the ball, Purdue gets into the backfield, rattles Sean Clifford. This could be a game in which Purdue could come away with the victory. As I said, I believe Penn State is the more talented team, but I think the crowd could play a big-time factor in this matchup. I want to hear what you guys have to think about this matchup. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be an exciting. I'll have a reaction video of this on Friday morning. So make sure you watch out for that. Make sure you subscribe to Big Ten Ted. I'm Big Ten Ted. We'll see you in the next one.